Welcome to Spirit River Podcast here once again with beautiful Trisha Michael. Hello, Trisha.
Hello.
We survived the 4th of July.
Yes, it was delightful
And
in
your
the
doggy survived,
celebration.
your doggy survived it as well. With a little chamomile and a few other CBD things, you know.
Yes, he really slept through it all, which was great. Just what his little soul needed for
Oh,
certain. I know, right? Aw.
we were leaving to go to Kalama to the 4th of July celebration and concert. And, it's an amphitheater with a bunch of musicians. And then there are massive fireworks that go on from 9 o'clock till midnight. And we sat at
Oh.
McMilliman's on the top floor and watched the fireworks from a distance. It was so wonderful. And yeah, I locked my cats in the house, all three of them. It was it
Perfect.
was necessary. I couldn't bear if they ran away and panicked completely.
Exactly.
So our subject today will be how do we handle death? How do we handle the death of a loved one? And this is something we all have to deal with sooner or later in our lives. For me, it came very early when I was quite young. And also through my own coma, I had a near-death experience, as many of you know, and I was only 9 years old. And after that, I don't believe there was ever a day where I didn't wake up thinking about my own death.
Mm.
And I hear that that is quite common with experiencers that they become acutely aware of their own mortality and that it's always on the forefront. And so for many, many years, I studied Kubler-Ross. I she was
Wow.
around in the 70s, I think.
Yes, I think so too.
And I found my mother dead in the kitchen when I was 16. So on top of that, 9 year experience, and then my mom and my grandma.
Mm.
So many deaths. But Kubler-Ross touched me and I studied her work. And so today I want to ask about that. The five stages that Kubler-Ross spoke of were denial, this can't be happening, a protective response that helps cushion the initial shock, anger, feeling of frustration, resentment, or helplessness. Anger may be directed at the situation, oneself, others, or even spiritual beliefs. Then the bargaining, which is the third, thoughts such as, if only, which was one of mine, if only I had gotten up when my mom came to the door, she would still be alive. And then people often replay events in their minds or wish they could change the outcome. Depression. Deep
Mm.
sadness, loneliness, crying, changes in sleep or appetite, and a sense of emptiness. This stage reflects the emotional weight of the loss rather than a mental health diagnosis by itself. And then the fifth is acceptance, recognizing the reality of the loss. Acceptance doesn't mean you're over it, it means learning to live with the loss while finding ways to move forward. And for me personally, that was reading the book Motherless Daughters. Like I was always going to be
Mm.
motherless. I lost my mother and I had to learn to live with it, even though, she was my best friend and it was very hard. So I want to ask Archangel Raphael what he would say about death and the advice he would give to people.
As one is moving into the releasing of their physical form to the next journey, they are being prepared through the universe of love and light for that space. So you're ones who you have loved, and as you also really are ready to have that sacred passage, You will feel the energy of beloved ones coming before you in a waking dream. So you know you are being prepared to move forward. Many times, the ones who are leaving have no verbal way to share with others that the space of movement, of anointment from their physical form back into spirit is happening. And so often the verbal words of these events don't get to be translated to the children or the loved ones. And this is where the disconnect of spirit happens for many. And those left in a physical form go through these stages. Those are totally pure stages of the recognition that each time you are born, your physical body has a sacred space of leaving. And it's not undue to anything around you who love these souls. It's a sacred placement within your lines of being releasing one form to another. You experienced a near death. Yes, that was a specific blip in your time frame in a way to choose.
Mhm.
And through the offering of the wisdom and the sacred knowledge on the other side, your soul knew it needed to come back and be a pioneer of light with the near death experiences. Even at a young age, you were fully aware of spirit and its sacredness of being reseeded to reseed sacredness in your lives and the lives of others. So, as a loved one is journeying in their space of movement, know that their sacred commitment, the sacred communion, is full of love from the other side. Their movement into source, into spirit, is part of a welcoming committee that has been set up specifically for them to be birthed into, to reintegrate with spirit. And you and anyone within those who are being moving to the next phase of light and love, that next page of their beginnings of love and light is one that you are holding a sacred space, a sacred energy of them. And that sacred energy, when it is held and allowed to blossom, brings your beloved mom and other ones who have gone into a communion within your own body that you can use in the wisdom of living your holy life here.
So I have a friend whose father lives with her and her husband, and they had to call in hospice yesterday. And it's very tough, when people go through that stage where hospice is now here and, they administer, that's the steps, where they hook them up to these machines or whatever it is, and they get their catheters. And I've been through the process a few times, and then they administer morphine, I think it is,
Yes,
until the organ shut down.
right.
So you're there with your beloved to literally watch them day by day, slowly, slowly, slowly decline more and more and more. And so, what does Archangel Raphael have to share with us, or wants would like to share with us, I should rather say, to someone who's going through that right now?
They soak in your beloved ones who are in that state of moving beyond here. Every moment of you. You are part of their story. They take into the Akashic record of love and light, of wisdom and knowledge, of hope and the grace of knowing that to be their place of sending them off is also preparing that welcoming party for them to go to. For the energy is a baton of letting go to receiving. And you being there is one of the most sacred communion of acknowledging the holy placement of life that you lived. So, and that they lived. Yes, it's scary because all the machines feel that this is a place that has too many, maybe fingerprints of technology or medicine and others within a sacred movement. But all of this placement is a blossoming of love that becomes part of a divine movement, a divine connection that is eternal. This placement now for them will eternally connect them to the full space of eternalness and love.
So there is no death.
There is no death, just a movement of one energy form to another.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I do have one last question. With morphine and drugs like that, does that is that some form of an interference when people are crossing over to be drugged out?
For some minds, it can be a gift because it allows one to kind of flow into this gift of movement. For some minds are so strong they might struggle in their placement of releasing this form into another.
Mm.
So some, it is a beautiful gift to give them freedom to float in the river of life into its new place. Others, it can make them feel a disconnect from what they want to experience and how they've seen their death and that experience. So at times, it is a placement that is kind of giving the one who is moving into the next layer of experience, opportunity to accept that this is part of the journey of now and write their next incarnation in the same breath. So it doesn't have to be in
Mm.
that way.
Mhm. Thank you
You're welcome.
very much.
Great love. All your identities are important to the sacred totality of you as you move from one form to another. Know that.
Mm. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you to my audience for joining us at Spirit River Podcast.
Absolutely.
The rest of your day. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.